Hey guys, Sean here at K2 Trades. Today I'm going to be going over a quick video analysis of pretty much all the pairs that we follow. I just want to give you guys a quick overview as to why not many signals are being posted. The main reason for that is because there's just not much volatility in the market, and even though there is volatility, you'll see as I go through all the pairs that generally when there's an entry, it's a little too close to support resistance, not giving us an opportunity to make an entry. So let's start off with Audusd right here. So with Audusd, you can see that this pair has literally been consolidating for quite some time, since July 6th. It's July 13th now, so it's been about a week. It's literally just been going back and forth between these zones. So the thing is, if we want to enter a buy, because obviously you can see from the K2 pivot it's trending upwards, if we were to enter a buy, we would have to wait for price to close above this zone. And this is why we haven't made any calls for Audusd. Let's go down to Usd Jpy. Same with this pair right here. You can see it's been doing the same exact thing. If we zoom out right here, pretty much it was trending up, came back down, and then it's literally been consolidating since June 15th. So it's been almost a month. I know we entered this trade sometime last month, and we still have these alerts here. So the thing is, this trade hasn't even been completed since our our June entry over here. So this is why we're not calling any of these trades either, because we don't want to enter a trade and we're going to be stuck in a range for another month, and if it spikes in the opposite direction, it's just too risky to enter this pair. We also have Usd Jpy that's still active from last week. Same situation here. You can see price kind of went sideways. It retraced up here and then it came back down. So this is the position that we had open from July 9th. It's still active right now, but it's on its way down. So you can see right here we have a sell signal. Once price breaks below this zone right here, we can anticipate that it's going to shoot down further. So hopefully it does that. Then we'll make it back into profit. Then it looks like it'll hit TP1 right here, TP2 right here, and full TP way down here. So this looks good, but as I mentioned, there's no entry available right now. If we were to make a second entry, this red candle would have to close below the zone, and then we can possibly make a second entry call to catch this ride downwards. But we're going to leave that alone for now. Let's check out Audusd. Right here, same situation. It's stuck within a zone right here. So the problem with this is, even though it's going up right here, price might come up, reject off this zone, come back down, reject off this zone, or come down here. You can see right here, it's been respecting the zones for a while now. It came down, rejected, came up, didn't make it past the K2 pivots right here, came back down, tested this zone, came up this zone, came down. Same situation right here. It hasn't had enough power to make a break in either direction. So there's no entry there for Audusd. I was hoping we could take a buy right here, because I was hoping that this would break above this zone, because if that was the situation, then we could probably catch it, shoot up this way, and that'd be a good entry. Even though it's trending downwards, it could go either way. So it could either come up here, it could reject off this pivot, come back down, and then if it closes below this zone right here, this would be a good entry. Looks like there's a lot of news. Actually, this is in 2 days, so we have some time. But let's keep going along. Obviously there's no entries for the odd pairs. Right here for Audusd, same situation. It's literally just ranging. Price comes up, comes down, comes up, comes down, comes up right here. So it's rejected about 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And we could have made an entry right here. The only problem is that it's a little too close to the support down here. It's only 13 pips, so it doesn't really give you enough cushion for you to really make a move, because the problem right here is once price comes down, you can see it rejected right here. This could happen right here, shoot back up this way. The reason for this is because we don't have a sell signal. We have a buy signal right now, so it's still in a buy bias. Until we get a sell signal, we can't anticipate it to move any lower. But yeah, just looking at all the Australian pairs, they're pretty much just ranging or in consolidation at this time. Check out Cad Chf, same situation here. Price has just been going in between these zones. We did have a sell signal right here, so if this was to close below this zone right here, this would provide for a decent entry if it clears out down here. We have news on the 15th, so that's in 2 days. We still have some time. But as you can see, it's not really moving. If we measure this from when the market opened, somewhere around here, it's only moved 15 pips. That's barely enough to cover spread. Spread's like 4 pips, so you literally will barely make anything due to the low volatility. Cad Jpy right here, we did have an entry right here that I wanted to call, but the problem is it's too close to the support right here. It's only about 12 pips, and you can see here the spread's about 4 pips. So the thing is, you're not really going to make much off this trade. The same situation here is, the last thing you want to happen is you enter a sell, and then price rejects and goes the opposite direction, because then you'll be in a negative, and you'll basically be holding this, praying that it'll come back down. So no entry there. CHF Jpy, you can see right here, same situation for all pairs. It pretty much came up, rejected, came down, came up, rejected, came down, came up, rejected, came down, rejected down here. I was trying to call a buy right here because this was a valid entry for the zone trading strategy. The only problem is, you can see right here, it's 11 pips away from the resistance. So, the issue with that is spread's about 3 pips, so you're literally only going to make about 7 pips off this trade. It's way too high risk, because the thing is, this price comes up, it could reject just like it did right here, and then it'll come back down, you'll be stuck in the negative, including the spread. Euro odd, right here, I was waiting for this to break above this zone right here, actually. So if it broke above the zone, we'd have a buy entry, or we can ride this up. It gives you enough cushion right here for about 70 pips. Not sure why this is enabled. I'll have to check on that. I don't know if these. I don't think we have an active position with Euro odd because it's not marked. But I'll have to check on that. Euro CAD, same situation here. For the Euro pairs, these are actually these might be our best options because they do look bullish. So right here you can see Euro odds pushing up, waiting for it to break this zone right here. Same for Euro CAD, we're waiting for this to break up above this zone as well. So once it breaks above this zone right here, we can take a buy and ride it up. Same with Euro CHF, waiting for it to break above this zone. There's no valid entry at this time. Same with Euro GBP. Euro GBP doesn't really move much. You can see right here, it's only moved about 20 pips in about 4 days. So this is something that you might be stuck holding for a while. This is why we don't really call EG too often, but it would provide for an entry if it breaks above the zone over here. So we'll probably have to wait on that. Same situation with Euro JPY. We'd have to wait for this to break above the zone. The problem with this is I think JPY is strong right now, actually. So due to the COVID news that was released, it's a lot of bad news. So this might come down from here. We do have a buy bias, so we have to wait for this to break above, or if we have a sell bias, we'd have to wait for it to break below. But the only problem is if it breaks below, like it might right here, like how it did right here. The problem with that is there's so many support zones right here. So the thing is, this gives opportunity for price to either reject from here, reject from here, or reject from down here. So this is a little too risky to take right now. I don't really like taking trades that are too risky. I personally like to take a trade that is a high probability entry. This is an entry right here for Euro NZD. I marked this up right here, but the problem with this is that it's just too close to this resistance right here. It's the same situation that I've been discussing with the past pairs. Although the Euro pairs seem to be pushing up, so this might be a good opportunity if it breaks above this zone right here. The problem with this is, it's less than a 20 pip distance from here to the resistance, and the spread's 9 pips. So literally, this is going to be like a scalp move where you're only going to make about 10 pips, and the problem with that is you're going to have to cover the spread both ways. So if you go into this trade -9, you'll literally get in, and you won't break even until you're up here. The problem is when you want to exit, you have to cover the spread again. So you literally need to cover, the spread twice, plus you're gonna have to get out. So you're only gonna make technically 1 or 2 pips. So it's not worth the entry, and that's why I didn't call this trade right now. Euro USD, same situation here. Same with all the Euro pairs. We're just waiting for it to break above this zone right here, and if it does make it past the zone, then it would provide for a decent entry to make a buy. But yeah, we're going to hold off on that for now as well. This is the GA position. I think it's still active, or yeah, I believe it's still active, I think. It doesn't look like it hit stop loss. So the thing is, we did hit TP1 or TP2 actually, I think for 55 pips, and it's making its way back up. You can see right here it tried to swing down, but it didn't close below the zone. So the thing is right here, as it rejected, we can anticipate maybe a bullish move back up. So if you're still in this trade, most of you might not be, because we did exit this, I think, on Friday or on the 10th. I'm not sure what day that was, at TP2 for about, I think, 55 pips. So if you guys are still in this trade, I'd probably get out in profits. It's just way too risky to hang on to, especially if you hung on to it over the weekend. So this does look good. I still see it shooting on upwards, but if not, we might take a position in the opposite direction if it comes back down further. So this is something that I don't really recommend hanging on to. As you can see from the odd pairs, they're just not moving very much. And the problem with that is, when price is in consolidation, it's generally charging up for some sort of breakout. So you can see right here, price kind of consolidated, and then it broke downwards. Again, right here, consolidated, and then shot upwards. So the situation with this is, if you consolidate sideways this way, it can shoot in either direction. So the thing is, you don't want to be caught on the wrong side. You want to be entering trades when you have an edge in the market. GC right here, we do have a sell momentum right here. So if we were to enter a sell, we'd wait for price to close below this zone right here. But same problem, it's just way too close to the support. It's 27 pips away. The spread's about 6-7 pips. So you have to cover the spread times 2. That'll be 14 pips that you would need to cover to get in and out. You subtract that by 27, you're literally making a little over 10 pips, which is it. I mean, it's something, but you just don't want to be trading when there's not much volatility, because you don't want to get stuck in this trade and hang on to it for a couple days, and then it just ends up reversing randomly due to news. Gbp Chf, same situation here. So it looks like all of the GBP pairs are weak. So it looks like the Euro pairs are bullish, the GBP pairs are weak. So we would have to wait for this to close below here. But let's see how far is it. Even if it did, I mean, it might be a decent scalp. So it's about 30 pips away from the support, maybe a little more. Spread's only 4, so it'll be about 8 pips to get in and out. So this might be a decent trade actually. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out on the next 4-hour close. Gbp Jpy, same situation here. Just like I explained earlier, all of the Euro pairs are going up, all the GBP pairs are going down, it seems like. But the problem with this is that it's paired with a safe haven currency, the JPY, and with all of the bad COVID news, fundamentals play out like they should, generally the JPY would gain in strength. So that's what's happening here. You can see Euro JPY, even though most of the Euro pairs are bullish, this is going down because the JPY is gaining strength due to the COVID news. Similar with right here with GJ. So you can see GJ is coming down because the JPY is gaining in strength. Let's check the CJ over here. Same situation here. You can see that the confluence between all of the JPY pairs, they're all going down. So that's why I predict that our AJ pair is going to come back down, because all of the other JPY pairs are going down as well. So if you're still in that AJ pair, hang tight. I know a lot of people got worried when it shot up like this, but it looks like it's coming back down. Anything else here? GN. Same with GN. It's going to be ranging in between. In order for us to take a sell, it'd have to close below here, or if we were to take a buy, we'd have to have a buy signal and have it close above here. GU, yeah, it looks like all the GBP pairs are weak right now, so we might be taking some sells. Right here with GU, we have a sell signal, so it'd have to close below the zone in order for us to have a valid sell entry. So we'll probably be looking out for that. And then NZD CAD. So NZD CAD, I'm waiting for a buy signal. I was waiting for it over here so I can enter a buy, but we never got it. Right here, it looks like it's coming down to test this support right here. So the thing is, if it rejects off it and we get a buy signal, then we'll probably take a buy as it continues upwards. You can see right here, strong trend upwards. Right here for NZD CHF. NZD CHF is moving a little weird. I was thinking about taking this trade right here, but it's literally been whipsawing. So as you can see right here, there was actually a valid buy right here, but we didn't take it. because I just didn't feel good about that trade. And good thing we didn't take it because it ended up reversing immediately. The problem with the NZD pairs, especially NZD CHF, is that they're both slow-moving pairs. So the thing is, when they go into consolidation, they consolidate for a while. You can see right here, it's been in consolidation for about 10 days now, maybe 11 days. It's literally just been bouncing between these two zones. As you can see here, once it goes into consolidation, it'll usually break out in a direction. So right here, it's consolidating. It might break out downward. So if you get a sell, well, we do have a sell signal. So if this candle closes bearish below here, then we might take an entry. And this would be a decent entry right here for about 27 pips. The only problem, like I mentioned before, is the spread. The spread's really wide right now because of the low volatility. There's not that many people in the market that are trading. So if you're not familiar with how the market moves, it generally moves in seasons. So during the summer, this is the slowest season because a lot of the market makers and institutions and the big players, they all go on vacation during the summer. I thought it would be different this year because of COVID, but it's not looking like it. But we can probably anticipate a breakout in either direction, really. So if this closes below the zone right here, then I'll probably take a sell because it looks like momentum shifting downwards. Let's look at the other JPY pairs. JPY, NZD. Same situation here. But I see this as coming down because the JPY pairs are gaining in strength due to the COVID news. So if this comes back down here as well, I'll take it as a sell. But it looks like all of the NZD pairs are a bit weak. So this might not even play out right here. This might actually end up closing below here and come down further. NZD USD, same situation here. It's coming down. We have to wait for it to break below the zone for us to take a sell. It looks like all the NZD pairs are weak. Yeah, so pretty much all the GBP down to NZD pairs are going downwards, and all the Euro pairs are going upwards. So this looks like this would be our target for this week: the Euro pairs, GBP pairs, and NZD pairs, because the odd pairs are they're just consolidating. They're going sideways. So there's no reason for us to trade those pairs during this time. So yeah, those are the main things we'll focus on. We'll look at UCAD right here. UCAD is in consolidation as well. It's just going up, coming down, going up, coming down. It's pretty much stuck between these two zones right here. And the problem with that is it gives us no leeway for us to make an entry, because the problem is we don't want to enter a buy here and then price ends up shooting down. And we don't want to enter a sell anywhere around here because it might shoot upwards. As you can see, it just keeps bouncing around. USD CHF. Honestly, I'm surprised USD CHF is going downwards, because CHF is a safe haven currency, so you'd expect it to go down since all the COVID news is bad. But what might happen here is, I know some people re-enter this. We got stopped out earlier because it spiked up right here, and then it came back down. But I think I spoke to a few people. This is something that I might see happening right here. We might see it reject off the pivot and reject off the zone and close below here. If that happens, then it might come back down because, generally it has a sell bias because it's paired with the US dollar. You can see right here, it's been going down since May, due to COVID, because CHF, the Swiss franc, is a safe haven currency. Same situation right here. This kind of lines up very well with CHF. USD CHF. Same with USD Jpy. Jpy is a safe haven currency, like I mentioned before. So I'm anticipating it to come down. It came up a little bit right here. We might see rejection, but the problem with this, like I mentioned earlier, it's even if it closed below here, it's just way too close to the next zone. It's less than 20 pips. So this is something that we might have to wait for it to close down here before we make any entries. So that's about it for the Forex pairs. I have USD SGD here, but we don't really trade that since it's an exotic. I don't really trade gold or anything like that. Let's look at our, this is our US 30 call that I made earlier. It's looking good. So, it's in a strong downtrend, and it's pushing down pretty nicely. So let's hang on to that. But yeah, I think that's about it, guys. Sorry that we're not able to call very many signals. The thing is, I like to take high probability trades, and I only take trades when we have an edge in the market. But as you can see, just by looking at all these pairs, there's no edge in the market. Price is either consolidating or it's ranging. And the thing is, you want to trade when the market is directional, so you can take profit in that direction. You don't want to get stuck in a trade that's going back and forth for a couple days, because if you get stuck in that trade, that trade could swing the opposite direction and reverse on you at any given moment. But yeah, guys, hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the chat. Otherwise, I'll be looking out for trades.
K2, yeah, we headed for the top now. K2, yeah, we call it when it drop down.